Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. Well, yeah. Normally at this point, me and Ray would be doing our player ratings, but I got a text before off Ray to say, "Mate, I can't do it. I'm gutted," which is fair enough. I feel gutted as well, but I just thought I'd put out a quick video on the analysis on tonight's game. Before I start, I would just like to say a massive congratulations to the squad. To Gareth Southgate. I don't think any of us thought that we would reach the semi-final with such a young team. So we've done amazingly well, and we should be proud of the team, certainly considering the age and the inexperience and the fact that Southgate's only had them for a short period of time. Now, this is a quick video, so I'm not going to edit it. So if I do pause for a second, I do apologise because I want to get this out tonight. Starting off with the game, wow, what a start. Kieran Trippier, what a fantastic free kick. We couldn't have asked for a better start, and I thought then we were on the front foot for that first 45 minutes, and Croatia looked all over the place. Sterling was terrifying them. The defence were absolutely terrified every time he made a run or he got the ball at his feet. He made a couple of nice moves. But ultimately, I think what happened was we had the issue with Harry Kane. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think he's a team player. I think he's an individual player. I think he plays for himself. He's greedy. He had a perfect opportunity just to square the ball, and it would have been a 3-yard tap in an empty goal for Raheem. 2-0 England at half-time. I don't think there was any way back for the Croatians at that point, but he didn't. He chose to try and shoot twice, and this is why I know a lot of people turn around and say he'd be fantastic for Man City. I don't think he would. I really don't. I don't think he's a team player. I don't think he's a Pep player. I don't think Pep would stand for it. Those type of situations we saw when he came in and he changed the game for Sergio Aguero, and wanted more of him to be a team player. And we saw that perfect example early on last season when he was through. Normally he would have shot, but he didn't. He squared it left to Gabriel Jesus to just tap into the net. And I just don't think Harry Kane has that in his game. It's too much all about him. Yeah, that was a real turning point, and it was interesting because yesterday afternoon I was driving back from Manchester Airport back home, and I was listening to Adrian Durham on Talk Sport, and he was interviewing that fat melon, the Moose, going on about Raheem Sterling and how he was really surprised the way the Moose was talking about Sterling should be dropped for Rashford, and all he kept going on about, the Moose, was the fact that I would just be terrified if England in the semi-final tomorrow, Sterling was one-on-one and missed a great opportunity, and that could be the one key moment in the game that loses us the match, where I would much rather trust Rashford and Kane. Well, tonight, Harry Kane, Sir Harry Kane as the press like to call him, had that one major opportunity and he fluffed it. He blew it because of his greediness. So I think when we look at it overall, there'll be lots of euphemisms put out tomorrow. So close, so far. We'll never get a better chance. And they're right. Tonight we had that one opportunity where we thought against Croatia, 2 really tough games they had, they'll tire, we've got fresh legs, young team, but sadly it looked like we were the ones that tired tonight. Not only that, I think for the first time in this tournament, we looked like we run out of ideas. We looked naive in that second half, and I don't just mean the players, I mean the management. I mean Gareth and his assistant coaches. I think tonight we showed naivety in that second half. For the first 10 minutes, we were giving away sloppy balls. We weren't retaining possession like we were in the first half. It looked like after 60 minutes there were tired legs in midfield. And what happened? He brings the one piece of danger from that first half in Raheem Sterling. He brings him off for Marcus Rashford. Straight away, you could see the dynamic of the game change. Their defenders looked far more comfortable. They were happy to sit in behind, where before they were worried, they were doubling up on Raheem, and that created other space for other players. As soon as Rashford came on, Kane seemed to drift out on the left-hand side. Apologies, that's for some reason Alexa's just gone off. Rashford didn't seem to trouble them. There was one little mazy run where he got a free kick from. And let's face it, people had called for Rashford to be in ahead of Sterling. Well, Rashford was on the pitch for around about 51 minutes. Raheem was on for around about 73 minutes. Rashford didn't do a job. He did nothing in those 53 minutes. He didn't change the game. He didn't even stretch their defence. They didn't look concerned with him being on the pitch. So that was, I think, the first mistake by Gareth. I think at that point what we needed was creativity in the midfield. Lingard, I think, has done a great job, but his final ball isn't the best. I thought Ali was poor again, really poor. And we just lacked that Kevin De Bruyne, that somebody with a bit of class who can actually play the final ball, because Raheem made, in that second half, in that sort of 25-30 minute period, he made about 6 or 7 really, really intelligent runs in behind. Not one of the midfield looked up, picked a simple ball through to central defenders, stopped, either lost the ball or just played a simple ball out wide, and the momentum was lost again. And so I'm sure Raheem was really frustrated with that. And I'm not saying this because I'm a Man City fan, but again, he made those runs like he has done in other games, and just the final ball was just not there. So I think really Gareth missed the trick. And again, not because I'm a City fan, I really thought maybe he should have brought Ali off, put Fabian Delph on there, bit more energy, a bit more legs, good passer, can spot a pass, also dangerous with a left foot. But no, he chose to put Rashford on. Everybody called for Rashford, didn't work out. So anyway, if we go through the team very quickly, starting at the back, Jordan Pickford, thought he was fantastic again. Thought his kicking, he was put under some pretty dodgy situations with some not so great back passes, but I thought he coped with them really well, made some good saves, he was solid. He made 1 or 2 errors coming out punching it, but overall I don't think you can blame him for the goals. I thought he was fantastic again. He's really grown in confidence in this World Cup. Kieran Trippier had a so-so game. I thought his free kick was incredible, but in the second half he looked to tire. He was getting pulled out of position a little bit, and I don't know whether he picked up that injury earlier than when he went off, but he looked like he was really struggling in the 10 to 15 minutes before he went off. I think for their second goal, he didn't even really make a challenge for the flick on. He just sort of put his hands in the back of the defender, which may have assisted the defender flicking it backwards, where if he would have challenged him, the ball may have gone up in the air, gone backwards. But as it turned out, I'm not going to be overcritical because he's been superb in this World Cup. Back three, thought Walker was immense, knackered at the end. I mean, the runs back to track back was brilliant. Thought Stones was incredible tonight. I thought he was superb. Last-ditch tackles, headers, brilliant. However, I'm not going to shy away from it. I do think he was at fault for not marking Mandzukic for the goal. Thought he fell asleep, and I think whether he was trying to play offside, but he had his back to Mandzukic and didn't know where he was. So some blame has to go down to John Stones for that second goal, I'm afraid. But overall, I think he's had a fantastic tournament. Harry Maguire has been immense, and everybody's been over the top with the whole praise for Harry Maguire. He has been brilliant, but tonight I thought he had a poor game. Oh well, no, not poor. I thought he had an average game. His passing in the first half was, wasteful, woeful. I mean, really wayward. All the W's. I didn't think he had his best game tonight. And with Ashley Young, who I'm not a massive fan of, but I thought he's done really, really well lately. But tonight I thought he was awful. the first goal, nowhere near, and that wasn't the first time, nowhere near the player crossing it, giving him all the time in the world to pick his spot. I think, again, an opportunity by Gareth missed to get Rose on much sooner. I think his age caught up with him in that second half. Into the midfield, Jordan Henderson, he had an okay game. First half, some of his balls to Sterling with his runs and things, they weren't the best tonight. He wasn't as dynamic, and I think that was in being up against Rakitic and Modric. Didn't get much support off Lingard and Ali in that centre of midfield. So, I think we need to forgive him for that overall. I think he's done really well at the World Cup. Ali, sorry, been poor for this World Cup. Scored a header, so what? Didn't contribute a great deal tonight. And I don't think he's had a really, really good World Cup. Very, very average. For me, should have been the first player replaced tonight in that second half, but was kept on far, far too long. Should have been brought off easily after 60, 70 minutes. Jesse Lingard, been impressed with him. I thought his work rate was immense, but again, 75, 80 minutes, he looked knackered. He ran and ran and ran. But again, in that midfield, we've just not got any class from a creativity point of view. Ali and Lingard just don't provide those passes that the likes of a Kevin De Bruyne do. So it's something we need to work on. I think that's an area that we sadly missed tonight, especially when you've got the likes of maybe Kane, but more so I'm thinking about Sterling making those intelligent runs. He knows that the likes of Silva, De Bruyne, Fernandinho even, will pick him out, will look up and immediately know he's going to make the run. I just didn't see Ali or Lingard doing that tonight. I don't know whether it was tiredness, whether it was naivety, whether it was their age or experience. I'm not sure. But anyway, I just think we need something a bit different in that midfield moving forward for 2020 in the European Championships, where I think we'll do really, really well. Moving forward, Raheem Sterling, again, I feel sorry for him. 75 minutes getting brought off. I thought he was one of our best players tonight. They looked terrified. As soon as he went off, the whole dynamics of the game changed. They looked actually comfortable. They sat back. It was almost like they went into a 5. And they had no worries because Rashford wasn't running beyond them. He was playing in front of them, so they looked comfortable. They didn't look under any threat whatsoever. And I think Gareth made a major mistake there, and that's where I think maybe the naivety came into play tonight with the management and some of the players. Which leads me to Harry Kane. Sorry, I've said it on numerous occasions. He's had 3 or 4 great seasons, banging in goals in the Premier League. People would say he's world class. He's not world class. Not for me. He's selfish. He plays for himself. He don't play for the team. He's not a squad player. I wouldn't want to see him at City, and I don't think Pep would even entertain him because we saw what he did with Aguero. Immediately, he demonstrated by playing Jesus what he wants from the team. He wants team players, and I think we saw it earlier on last season when Aguero one-on-one with the keeper would normally have been selfish like Kane is and would have gone for goal, but he didn't. He picked the right option and he just squared it left for a tap in for Jesus. Tonight, Kane had that opportunity. All he thought about was himself. He thought about glory, thought about the golden ball, and he's not a team player for me. And if you think about, he's got 6 goals, well, he scored 3 penalties, okay? Several other players in that team could easily have scored those 3 penalties, but Harry Kane took them, scored them. Good penalties, I'm not going to say they weren't. But one of the goals was a lucky deflection off his calf that he knew nothing about, made number 4. One was a tapping into an empty net from 3 yards, number 5, and then he had that fantastic header against Tunisia, which was the winner. But apart from that, he won some fouls against Sweden. So what? How many chances has he missed? He's missed 3 or 4 really good chances, yet Raheem's missed 1 or 2, and suddenly he's the talk of the town, and radio programmes are spending an hour on Raheem Sterling and if he could take his chances. Well, Harry Kane's missed some serious chances, and tonight he missed the biggest one of all. So for me, I like him. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but world class, nowhere near world class for me. He's a good striker, a very good striker for the Premier League, but he's too selfish for me. And I think him being the captain contributed to the fact that he stayed on the pitch far too long in some of the games, I think, in the World Cup, where really Gareth should have been stronger and thought, let's get some extra legs on up there. Like tonight, after 75 minutes, 80 minutes, he brought Rashford on, which is fair enough. I like Rashford. I've always called for Rashford to play on the left, Sterling on the right and Kane down the middle. So I'm not a Rashford hater. I like Rashford. But tonight, when we thought they were tiring, would have been perfect to bring Kane off and leave Sterling and Vardy with their pace, because that would have absolutely terrified him. But because he's the captain, because the country love him, because the media love him, kept him on, didn't do anything, did absolutely nothing. So again, another opportunity missed tonight by Gareth. Subs, I'm not even going to go there, it's pointless. 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. I don't think Dyer's a decent player. Delph's a far better player for me than Eric Dyer. But I thought Danny Rose should have come on earlier. Jamie Vardy should have come on earlier. But overall, we've got to be proud of the team. We never thought they'd get to the World Cup semi-final. I think the team have done exceptionally well for such a young team. I think Gareth has been brilliant. Breath of fresh air. And really looking forward to in the next 2 years what he's going to do with his team. If he can get that little bit of creativity into that midfield, I think we've got a really good chance for the Euros. Well done to Croatia. They came back even after those 2 tough games, and it's going to be an interesting final. I don't know who won it. Ray will probably be going for France for obvious reasons. I would like to see Croatia win it. I really would. But I know Mendy plays for France, and we've got Laporte and people like that. But I'm not bothered whoever wins it, if I'm being honest. Yeah, if City players, it'd be great to win a World Cup. But I'm not really that fussed now. I'm just gutted that England are out. But overall, Gareth tonight, I don't want to be too harsh on him because I think he's been immense. But I think naivety, maybe a lack of experience in tournament football at the highest level, probably came back to haunt us tonight, and I think he made the wrong decisions in that second half. But anyway, I'm sure the country will give the guys a massive welcome home whenever they get there. As far as the third place playoff, does anybody really care? He may as well just put out a second string, send some of the major players home, let them go on holiday. They've had a tiring season, a tiring World Cup. Let them get rested. We've seen tonight with poor Trippier. He is at a groin tear. If it is, then I feel sorry for Spurs and the Spurs fans and everything, and him in particular. He could miss 3-4 months of the season. So let's get these big players who've played a lot of games, let's get them on holiday, get them rested up. They've done fantastically well for the country. And let's get back to the clubs safe and sound and ready for the start of the new season. So anyway, guys, give your thoughts. Maybe we'll do the player ratings tomorrow. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll do an overall player rating for the whole tournament rather than just the game tonight. But this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. Keep chin up, guys. We've done brilliant. We never expected to be here. Just a shame. It's so close. It would have made for a perfect Sunday against France in the World Cup final, but it's not to be. We'll welcome them home. We'll cheer them on, and let's just get this Premier League season started now, because it's been a long time. It feels like forever since it finished. So guys, give us your comments below. Please don't forget, we're trying to hit that 1,000 subscribers. That gives us more options on YouTube. We're about 250 off, so if you can subscribe to the channel, we'll be down at the Charity Shield, Community Shield final against Chelsea, and we'll be doing some potentially some videos with some Chelsea fan TV channels before the game, in the lead up to the game. So guys, please subscribe to the channel, hit the comments below, follow us on Twitter. Have a great night, and yeah, we're all disappointed and gutted, but we'll see you soon.